Welcome to this tutorial. In this tutorial, we are talking about typecasting in Java. Let's begin typecasting. What is typecasting? Typecasting is a process of converting a variable from one data type to another. It's essential when worked with mixed data types to ensure compatibility and correct operations. For example, there are a lot of data types in Java. We explained later in the previous section. So data types may be int, short, and byte. You want to convert from one data type to one variable of one data type to another data type. We use typecasting. What it facilitates is a seamless integration by facilitating interaction between variables of different data types, enabling a more flexible code. For example, this provides a seamless integration between different data types for interaction between variables of different data types. Okay, let's see how can be done in the next sections. Basically, how many types of data types typecastings exist are there are two types of typecastings exist. That is, one is implicit typecasting and another one is explicit typecasting. Let's see what is implicit typecasting. Implicit typecasting is is a process by automatically converting a small data type to larger one which does not ensures any loss of information. For example, when you're converting a small uh, byte variable to a short, for example, the byte is a smaller data type and you are converting to a short which is a little bit bigger. This type of conversion from smaller data type to larger data type is called as implicit casting. Okay, it's the implicit casting is performed by the compiler automatically. We do not need to do anything. It is a safe method of conversion where you don't have any data loss and performed automatically by the compiler. You don't need to do anything. Let's see an example. Here we have an int of number 10, a small number 10 defined as int. So this is a data type of int. If you want to convert this data type into a larger data type of double is a larger one, as you know that we saw in the data types channel, data type videos, that types of data types, the larger one is double. So when you want to convert this into double, we just make a variable of double and assign this in number 1 directly to here. It automatically converts the int number int 10 of data type int to a double data type, a larger one, implicitly. We don't need to do anything at all. It is converted automatically. That's why it is called as implicit and automatic conversion by the compiler. Here the int value of 10 is safely converted to double and the value of the result will become 10.0. It's of a data type double. So then only you have doubles are used to store what you call floating values. So we understood that when a small data type is, if you want to convert a small data type to a larger one, we just directly assign that data type, assign that to a higher variable of that type. So here, for example, int number is assigned to double, so which converts directly from int 10 to double 10.0. Next we can see what is the hierarchy of for example, short to large. When we are discussing about data types, the smallest one is byte. From byte is the smallest one. You can convert this to byte to short, which is a little bit slightly larger integer, and the short can be converted to integer automatically. This kind of from byte to short and short to int and int to long and long to float and float to double. It may not be in the same order, but we can convert a short to float, or you can convert this short to the higher ones like any float, long, or double. It's not about in the same order. You should convert from byte to short only, not that. You can convert the byte to short or byte to int or byte to any one above that. This process is called as implicit casting. Next we will see that explicit casting. Second type of data casting is typecasting, is called as explicit casting. Here what involves is we are converting a larger data type to a smaller data one. This process requires you need to specifically explicitly tell the code write in the code that we need to convert from this data type to another data type. We need to specify the instructions explicitly. It doesn't convert automatically. Implicit casting will convert automatically. For explicit conversion you need to specify it explicitly. Let's see how you do it. Let us assume that pi is a double data type. You want to convert to a shorter one to double int. So the integer variable is, this is the integer variable. So this is the pi variable, is a double variable. You want to convert into int variable. So we make an int variable to hold it, and we write the pi. Previously if you in implicit conversion, if it is a higher one, we directly assign the variable to the what you want. But here you need to specify the double we are converting to an int. So lower one, this is called as casting operator. So you need to use cast operator, means you keep the data type which you want to convert and put to round bracket. This is called as casting. Cast operator is or cast operator. So if you explicitly define what type, it may be a int or a smaller one, short or anything, you can lower than double, you can assign anything. So you need to specifically specify what type you want to, double to int, double to byte. If you want byte, you need to specify here byte. This is what you call as explicit. The problem with here is, here double, since int is in a whole number, we cannot hold this decimal point. You lose the information. That's a problem. Sometimes you may see the view data loss. We have lost the data of some of the data, like decimal places, like information may be truncated. Truncation means you are losing this data from 3.14 to just 3. The value it holds in int is only whole number like 3, so data is lost. And precision truncation, decimal parts are often lost. For example, if it is a large decimals, like if you have 4 or 5 decimal digits, all the thing will be lost. You may overflow or underflow, which may exceed the target type range. For example, if you are using a double digit and you are assigning to short something, it may not be in a compatible position. You may be, the number size which can you hold in the byte may be very less, but the digit may be overflow or underflow happens. Okay, if it is very if a number we are taking is too big and you are assigning to too small, this kind of thing, overflow or underflow of target range, maybe we may face this kind of thing. This overflow is in the positive direction, like if you keep plus in the plus a large number to a short number to a byte, you may get overflow. And underflow is like when you keep minus in minus side, I think so. Next we see example of data loss. For example, the double price is 99. Let us have a double variable of value 99.9. We want to convert it to int. So the value, we need to use the explicit typecasting using int cast converter cast operator. This is what you call cast operator, and you place the type which you want. So int variable with int, we are converting the price of double to an int. That's what it means. So what happens is 99.99 is truncated to 99 only. This part 0.99 is lost. Okay, this is what happening, example of data loss. And next we need to look into conversion, string conversion. String conversion is like converting a string to numerical digits. For example, you want to convert a string to a number or number to a string, we need some conversions like. So for example, first we need to see how we can convert a string to a number. For example, if you want to convert a string of 123, for example, here age is 30, that is string, a string, we defined a string of age 30. you want to convert this to number. You cannot manipulate add or to something here in this type of things. In order to add, you need to convert it into a integer. So to do that, you can use the parse method, like parse int, parse float, parse double, parse like that. Integer dot parse int. Integer dot parse int gives you, these are we can data types, non-primitive data types like integers. These are called as wrapper classes. In the tutorial of wrapper classes, we can find the same details about what are integer wrapper classes and double wrapper classes. For every int, short, double, float, we have an wrapper classes. We will discuss in that table, in that module. But here, if we want to convert any int, so use the integer wrapper class and use the parse int method to convert from age 30 string to number. Similarly, in the opposite, if you have a number you want to convert to string, we have an operator called string wrapper class. We need to use the value of method, string dot value of method. For example, int, we have an score 85, we want to use it to display as a text to some places. So you want to convert this 85 to a string 85 like this, in double quotes. Use string dot value of this int, so it will convert to a string, literal string of 85. That's all. Let's see with an example like int a. For example, int a is 10 and double b, if you assign, this is what you call as implicit casting, where a is the int small integer a is converted to a double b. So int a is converted to double, so which is from lower data type to larger data type. It is called as implicit casting. And let's see what is called as explicit casting. Explicit casting is called as when you use higher to lower. So we have a double and we convert it to an int by using cast operator. You get the output is 9, because the output is 9, because we remove this in int can hold only numericals, not decimals, so this one will be eliminated. Similarly, number conversion, we converting string to a number. We have a string number string of 1 2 3. If you want to convert it, we use integer dot parse int the number. And finally, from number value to number to string conversion, we convert using string dot value of method. Using this is what, let's recap all these things. I think it's the end of the tutorial. Let's see what next we can do it. Next we can understand the what we understand is, here we understood the concept of what type of casting, two types of casting, implicit and explicit casting, how and when to use it. For example, in which case, like when you want to convert from higher to lower, you call as higher to lower is called as explicit, and lower to higher is called as implicit. No, from higher to lower you called as explicit conversion, and lower to higher is called as implicit conversion or automatic one. And next, real world use cases like converting from age, number and strings, and we have discussed this. Next we will see operators and expressions in Java. Thank you very much.